Okay, well, we'll call this meeting to order for tonight, November 4th, special board meeting. Public hearing on the budget. We'll start with the pledge by Councilman Isaac.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
It only printed. It didn't print that page.
There we go.
I'll give you both of them.
Can you take the roll and then go back?
I can do that.
Just to keep things moving along here.
Well, I gotta read that. All right. Councilman Blaisdell.
Present.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Present.
Councilman Froelich.
Present.
Councilman Isaacson.
Present.
Supervisor Zlatnik.
Present. You have to read the announcement right now. We can open it.
Read the announcement.
Sure, take your time.
All right. So it went in the paper on the 31st. Please take note that the preliminary budget of the town of Milton for the year 2022 has been filed in the office of the clerk of the town of Milton. And the town board of said town will conduct a public hearing on the 4th day of November 2021 at 7:10 p.m. at the Town of Milton Community Center located at 310 North Line Road in said town, with said hearing thereupon review said budget, and any persons may be heard in favor of or against the budget as compiled, or for or against any items therein contained. A copy will be available at the town clerk's office for inspection during normal business hours. The budget is also available on the town's website at blah, 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 blah. The proposed salaries of each member of the town board, the supervisor, the town clerk, superintendent of highways, town justices, and receiver of taxes therein set forth are as follows. Supervisor, $49,156.84. Councilwoman, $11,806.50. Councilman, $11,806.50. Councilman, $11,806.50. Councilman, $11,806.50. Town clerk, $40,725.54. Superintendent of highways, $70,730.88. Town justice, $20,683.56. Town justice, $20,683.56. Receiver of taxes, $24,290.28. By order of the town board of the town of Milton, dated October 30th, 2021.
Thank you, Brenda. Seeing that, I will open the public hearing. Anyone from the public like to speak? Judge.
Members of the board, good evening.
You got to turn that on and get real close.
Members of the board, good evening.
Real close. I mean, like,
Members of the board, good evening.
there you go.
Tim Brown, Town Justice, 102 Locust Court, Boston Spa. Probably don't even need that, I can talk loud enough.
Well, the folks at home need to hear you.
Okay. I just wanted to, I'm not complaining about the budget. In fact, I actually came forward because I wanted to thank the board members here for the consideration of our position of full-time clerk. The town court has been looking for a full-time clerk in lieu of our two part-time positions since about 2005. And I greatly appreciate that move on behalf of the court budget, and myself and Judge Cromie as well appreciate that. I just wanted to mention a couple of things that I noticed in our proposed budget. There's just a couple discrepancies. Our grant that we applied for was for $30,000. It appears to be a $20,000 allotment. We didn't get an opportunity to speak with the budget committee, and we would have probably brought it up at that time, but we never met with the budget committee. And my question is, and I realize it's just public comment, but my question is there, at some point, can we correct that, or is it too late for that?
Nope, we can do that tonight.
Okay, there was just a couple items. Judge Cromie and myself submitted a letter to each of the board members about our concerns. I realize that the preliminary budget is out, and I know the procedure is somewhat a little bit more difficult at this point, but I just felt that we didn't get the opportunity to meet with the budget committee to explain ourselves. So I guess what we've laid out are our concerns. I didn't know if you had any questions I could answer. I'd be happy to do that tonight.
No, I don't, I mean, I've read your letter to the board here, Judge, and I don't have any problems making the adjustments.
Okay.
I mean,
And again, I just, ordinarily, I've met with the budget committee every year up until this year, and I just don't want to have something go in that's an error.
Yeah, no, that won't happen. So
Okay.
we'll make the adjustments tonight.
Okay, wonderful. That takes care of my problem. Thank you.
Okay. Anyone else? Ms. Stevens?
I just basically want to say thank you very much to the Budget Committee for the work they did, and to the Controller for putting together a really terrific job. And even this packet, I like having it on double-sided to save costs. So, but I think I like the fact that you're not lowering the taxes, you're keeping them at a fairly consistent rate, because that's been a problem in years, because then the next year it has to go up. And then, of course, everybody's in outrage. But again, terrific job on doing the budget.
Thank you. Thank you, Meg. Anyone else? Okay, no one's got their hands up in attendance. So do you want to discuss the judge's letter?
Well, I think the easiest, and it's probably my mistake when we were going over it, I thought that the money was already, we didn't have to expend the money for them to get the grant. I guess we do, right? So we just need to make an adjustment there.
Jim's not here, Dave, so if you want to sit up here with us and grab a mic or use that one. Okay.
So,
I think you shut it off.
Nope. Come on up here. God, I can't wait to go out. It worked a minute ago, though. I mean, what'd you do to it, Judge?
I think you got to talk right into it. It's very hard.
That's right.
Yeah.
so with respect to the $20,000 financing source on page page 8, it's A3021 state aid core facilities. This is an amount that is a conservative estimate in that we have to expend resources in order to be reimbursed through the Justice Court Assistance Program. So 30,000 is a maximum. I haven't seen the proposal that was submitted to the state, but you know, I mean, if we've submitted a proposal and we anticipate expending $30,000 to enhance the courtroom, then we can certainly, you know, increase the revenues side of the house by the 10,000 proposed.
That would be A3021?
It's A3820.
38.
I'm sorry, I'm A3021
Right, we're going to increase that to 30,000.
by 10,000. Yep.
Okay.
And I guess there are other question here about the bailiff. Are we looking to pay that by the hour or pay it by the stipend? Or?
Historically, it's a position that was compensated at a flat stipend or appointment.
similar to like the way that I'm compensated as an appointed official or the or Stalls versus the historian. There was indication that it appears as if the justice would like for that position to be paid on an hourly basis. You know, and if that is the situation in which you guys would like to compensate for those services, that we can certainly, you know, go in that direction. It would be, I mean, we could slide in the proposed, the proposed appropriation for that that position, and that would increase the A1110.1 personal services on page 3. So maybe we increase that by 10,000 to offset the increased revenue. And that would give us the flexibility to, you know, to compensate for that position on an hourly basis.
That's, what line again, Dave?
It's A1110.1 judicial personal services on page 3.
Okay. And so we're going to increase that by 10,000? Is that what we,
That would give us that it would be an offsetting entry to the budget, and it would.
Well, certainly it makes more sense. I mean, to me, when he first started as a bailiff, they probably didn't have a whole lot of work in our town. As the court has increased now, it's the fairest way to compensate.
right,
You guys as a board can set the, you know, the compensation for any person at any rate, you know, on an hourly basis, on an annual basis. You guys have the ability to determine the frequency in which somebody is compensated and the rate at which they are compensated. So there would just be a, you know, basically, there would be a, I believe a resolution would need to be made to begin to kind of compensate for that service on an hourly basis for the fiscal year 2022.
Yeah, that would be in our organization.
Yep.
right, but we should at least
Just because we
account
put
for
it
it.
in the
Well, we
budget.
put it in the budget, so when we set the salaries
That's right.
at the organization, the money's there if we
The money's
decide to
there,
go that way.
that's right.
So Judge, the 520 hours, that's an accurate number?
That's an approximation of what he worked last year, yes.
Okay.
The amount that I had put in for was a stipend increase. We only mentioned the hourly rate, that I think if he was getting paid by the hour, he would make considerably more, but I thought what was fair is to put in for his stipend increase being based on the fact he was being paid by stipend.
Okay, so if we're going to credit or set a goal of $20 an hour for budgetary purposes, that would be an increase of $10,400, or a salary of $10,400. That's 520 hours a year.
Which is only about a $3,000.
Right.
Yeah, we should be all right.
Okay, so we're going to increase line A1110.1 by 10,000.
Let's increase that by 5,000, and then A1110.2 equipment capital outlay by 5,000.
Okay. That will take care of your concerns, Your Honor?
Yes, Mr. Super, with the exception of one other one. The only other question I had was for my senior clerk. She is on the pay schedule with no ability to supervise. one of the things that I discussed, I think I actually mentioned it to you at one point, is to have a difference in pay relative to have her supervise that office when the judges are not present. I proposed that originally.
Well, we're actually looking at redoing all the salary schedules, Your Honor.
Okay,
So that'd probably be a good time to look at that.
and that's fine. I just, you know, I just wanted to make sure that the budget goes in. I don't want to have any surprises down the road.
Correct.
When we do the evaluation.
Yes.
so probably
Right,
the
when we do the evaluations
add
at that time.
the supervisory type duties to it.
That's right.
And I'd be happy to do it then. That's fine. That'll conclude. Thank you.
Anyone else from the public like to speak? Going once? Going twice? All right, with that, I will close the public hearing section of the meeting tonight. I think with those, I need a motion to close the public hearing.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Brenda, can we poll the board, please?
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Councilwoman Hurd.
Yes,
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Supervisor Zalata.
Yes. Okay, given those minor adjustments to the budget, I think we're all, we appear to be okay with those adjustments. I know I am. Anybody else? Okay. Seeing that, Jim, can we make a resolution tonight to adopt this budget with those minor adjustments?
Yeah, so your resolution, I sent you a draft resolution, and I left them blanks, so you can just help run it.
Make those changes?
Whatever the changes are in the budget. The controller will print out the final version with those changes, and that will be attached to the resolution.
Okay. So what number resolution would we be up to?
Off the top of my head, I don't know.
Go ahead.
Amanda's going to find out. I got this when I came in, so.
That's okay. Today's the 4th.
I think it's 70.
My notes are on my desk. I didn't read the last one.
Just, you could probably wait till the meeting.
What's that?
We could do this at.
You can do that at the town meeting, but I won't be here.
We'll be here at some point.
Well, we got to adopt the budget by the 20th. And I have that county meeting on the 10th,
Amanda's bringing it up.
which is our next meeting. I'm okay doing it on the 10th. 61? All right. I'm okay
just want
doing,
to make sure we have everything.
well, I think if we can go over these additions, tonight.
Now, the additions didn't bother me, it's just I want to make sure the resolution.
Jim wrote the resolution up, so we can take a second look at it, but I think he knows what he's doing.
Kurt, you got that sinking feeling?
yeah. My chin's on the table.
Okay, well, I'll read it, and if nobody wants to move on, if that's okay, you guys can vote on it at the meeting, Resolution 61 of 2021, dated November 4th, resolution adopting the town annual budget for the year 2022. Whereas the town board having on November 4th, 2021, commencing at 7:30 p.m., duly held a public hearing on the preliminary budget approved by this board and filed with the town clerk for the fiscal year commencing January 1st, 2022. And the town board having considered changes to the filed preliminary budget and having made those changes, if any, available to the public and provided same to the town clerk for filing. And the town comptroller having added and made those changes to the budget, and the town board having heard all persons desiring to be heard in the matter of the budget for this town and such fiscal year, and having been fully discussed and considered. Now therefore be it resolved that said preliminary budget as approved and filed and modified is hereby approved and established as the final annual budget for this town for the fiscal year beginning January 1st, 2022, and that such annual budget as so adopted in detail herein and recited in the minutes of the proceedings of this town board is further amended as follows. So we're going to add to A 3021, $10,000. A 1110.1, we're going to add $5,000. To A 1110.2, we're going to add $5,000. And I believe that was it, right? Okay. Thank you, Brenda. And as so amended, the said preliminary budget approved and filed as aforesaid is hereby approved and established as the official final annual budget for this town for the fiscal year beginning January 1, 2022. And that such final annual budget as amended and so adopted in detail shall be modified to conform to the approved amendments, and as so modified shall be attached to this resolution. And be it further resolved that the town clerk of the town shall prepare and certify as provided by law duplicate copies of the said annual budget hereby adopting along with all of the amendments herein included and made, if any, and shall do all other actions as are required by law in regards to formal budget adoption. Now therefore be it resolved by the town board of the town of Milton.
Mr. Supervisor, just one correction on that. As you can see in the beginning, I put that the public hearing was at 7:30, it was actually 7.
Okay.
My apologies for being late, I thought I was early.
And we'll change that to 7 o'clock.
Just a quick question for Dave. We put in these appropriations, do we have to put in revenue for them? How do we handle that?
I would reference where it's coming from.
Or are we just gonna make adjustments in the budget itself? That probably isn't working.
So the first concern that Justice Brown had was regarding in a conservative estimate from the revenue source, it's state aid. So we increased the revenue by 10,000, and then we offset the increase in revenue by 10,000 in appropriations. So it washes, and then there's no impact to the tax levy as proposed.
So the other ones too, the wage things,
It's right.
we'll just make an adjustment out of something else.
We've increased the personnel services in that judicial line by 5,000, and that will allow for us to increase the amount that we compensate for the bailiff position. And won't have any, there won't be any need to make any,
Okay.
I guess, adjustment from this point.
Okay.
What's included in the salary schedule for back will reflect what the proposed salary was, as provided by Justice Brown and Justice Cromie. And it won't necessarily match up exactly with personnel services, but it's better to be a little safe than sorry.
Yep.
Thanks, Dave. Okay, so I'm looking for a motion on this resolution.
I don't have.
I'll make the motion.
Thank you, Ryan.
I can second it.
Thank you, John. Any discussion?
We can show them, like, yeah.
Someday.
Okay, Brenda, can you poll the board, please?
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Froelich.
Yes.
Councilman Isakson.
Yes.
Supervisor Zalatni.
Yes. Thank you, everyone. I believe we're finished. We're good to go, so I'll take a motion to adjourn.
I'll make that motion.
Go ahead.
Second.
Oh, Frank second, okay. Any discussion? Brenda, poll the board, please.
Councilman Blaisdell.
Yes.
Councilwoman Kerr.
Yes.
Councilman Crowley.
Yes.
Councilman Isaacson.
Yes.
Supervisor Zalati.
Yes. Thank you. Good night. This meeting is adjourned.
When you can sit in my chair.